Bloody Mercury. I'm telling you, I can't wait. Just a few more, a little bit more time. Okay, those of you that don't know, I was here before, I'm here again. Coming to you to talk about the energy. Take two. Okay, the energy is heavy. A lot of people, I can actually say I have been deeply concerned about a lot of people. Concerned about the energy of mental wealth, mental well-being. Obviously, we need to take a lot of accountability about that. We need to be very sure about what we can and can't do. We do need to be very mindful about healthy boundaries. And we also need to get to a space where we can more be grounded and anchored into the moment. I'm on live, Dale. You can't come out. You need to go back inside, please. So how many do we have in the house? I'm hoping the live chat's on. I'll wait for people to connect. And we'll have a bit of a chat about the energy, because I haven't been able to come to you guys live. As I mentioned, I have been going through quite a bit of things on my own at a private level. Yes, that's going to change. Yes, I am back. Mercury, man. I'm telling you. So, apparently, obviously the latest, hi guys, obviously with what's going on at the moment in the media, there is that energy of coronavirus. Now, 12th house activation and Virgo placements can amplify things to disease. If you do study astrology, it is a super full moon, which can amplify, and it is at the critical degrees. We do need to keep things very, very basic. We need to be very rational. And, it's sort of like we've gone from one extreme to the other. We already had the energy of ascension symptoms for the last 2 months, the 12th house placement of the psychological mind. So we're seeing the psychological aspects. The war energy is, especially with the eclipse that we had in Cancer, it's linking into our safety with families, what families directly mean to us, what tribe is. The Mercury as well, reflecting back. With the sun, it's the ego. Pisces was in the ego house, and it is all your distortion of your dreams, your illusions. It's almost to the point where you don't even know what's real and what's not. And that's when you're in that frequency with the astrology. And then you move down to the moon in that energy, and it's your intuition aspect, again, taking it into that, which is positive and negative. And we can't have the light without the dark. It's the reality. But it is really bringing things to a head with the Virgo moon, where you're getting very realistic and real. Now, quincunxing energies can cause T-sections in the road. There's no ifs and buts about it. You've got to go left or you've got to go right there, because it's reached a pivotal point, and I think a lot of people have got to that state. Even with moving forward, I do feel with the coronavirus at hand, a lot of people are living more in fear-based frequency and not in the movement forward effect, So potentially in Perth, there are obviously cases where it has been, we're looking overseas and we're watching what's happening with them, and it can be triggering us. But you've got to remember, when the nodes do move into Gemini, we're already feeling that frequency. And now my twin's calling me. It's like, babe, I'm trying to work. There's so many changes that when we're looking at that, the Gemini energy is communication again. So we're being overloaded with the Neptunian frequency, which can make us feel quite distorted, confused, and things to that degree. So it's very important to maybe check in with it now and then, but also to try and keep rational in the 3D and still operating from the point of view that you are moving forward in your life and you are currently living in the moment. If it's triggering you, get yourself grounded and then look at it. But look at it more from an education point of view, to understand what's happening, but really disconcern between what your understanding is and what a reality is. Most of what we're seeing, it is moving very quickly. And yes, we have had many, and they are working on what they can do to a degree to bring it under control. And it's some of the conversations I've had been quite profound. It's the comedy connected to people actually now suddenly washing their hands, which is something that we've been supposed to be doing all the time. The irony that these things are things we can't see and they do not discriminate. The reality that as human beings, we're fighting against our tribe, and it has no discrimination. Flus and corona, it will affect certain pockets of people. People that are chronically sick, people that are elderly, and yes, the vulnerable, which children, PPE, we don't tend to actually wash our hands. They're very touchy-feely. And yes, naturally so, like any flu situation that can occur. But we do need to be very mindful that on top of our spiritual paths, we have become a little bit paranoid. We do need to get grounded. And it's not that we can't look at things, but we do need to understand that if it is your time, it's your time. And to live in that fear-based frequency is not going to serve you any. It is very much a time to be obviously rational with your hygiene. Rational with maybe going out and doing things as per you need to. And yes, of course, if you're choosing then not to go to large pockets of, over here in Australia, there was a concert and there was a person that had tested themselves and they had gone off to this concert. It's like any flu. Just try and keep it simple. And I know it doesn't mean it is that, but keep it as simple as possible because it's not going to help you getting into that frequency. Now, yes, for a lot of feminines, there is a lot of distortion at the moment from your mind. There has been a lot of purging, and I can't exactly see how many people are in the house. For the life of me, I don't know why. So keep commenting so I can see how many are in the house, because Mercury retrograde just does not love me. There is that distortion where we are a little bit confused about where we're going. Hi, Wendy. 15. Well, I'm glad you can see because mine's showing 0. And of course, that the subscribers that hide their sub feeds, it's like I don't get to see if you're present in the house. So a big hello if you're here. So yes, it's very natural at the moment looking at your life, looking at your career. We currently have Juno retrograde. Everyone collectively is in a state of confusion. You do realise after Corona, life is going to proceed. So if you are potentially stopping living due to that, you could potentially be putting yourself 10 steps back. Also, by over shopping, you also need to understand food does go off. You need to be very rational about the bigger picture. Rational to the point of what you need and what you don't need and the abilities you have within inside yourself. And also not to get to a point where you are being afraid of your fellow neighbour. Okay, let's just get real. Your fellow neighbour. If a house was burning down, you'd probably jump in and give a fellow a hand, and you can't see a germ and you're freaking out. I mean, there could be many more in our life, and if anything, this may actually boost our immunity. We need to understand and look at things a little bit differently. We need to try and keep grounded. Many of you, if you're needing to make decisions, it can be at a financial level, it can be at an employment level. Operate from today and deal with tomorrow as it comes. Hi all. Yeah, look, sleeping has been a little bit off and on for many people. I will be automatically true in I have touched base with a lot of my clientele who are my family, my tribe, and I have been very concerned about you guys. I've been in the same boat as you. There has been a lot of depression, there has been a lot of distortion, a lot of disillusionment. Some people have been hungry, but then getting to the point where you feel very, very full. And some people are eating quite a bit, but I find that I am hungry, but then when I go to eat, I'm not hungry. Also headaches, and again, linked in with Corona. But at the same time, we had crown chakra activation, so it can be taking you there with the energy of what's going on. Now, we are moving into a higher heart chakra clearing. That is at a collective level. So we do need to come to a purgatory state where we can have compassion for people, where even when it does come to our soul path, we're purging that as well in an egoic sense of what our belief system was and what expectations were, what the paradigms were directly linked in with that. And there has been a lot of distortion coming through in that path of what your role was, what the past was, what the current dreams are. When you're tuning into what another person needs to do in order to resolve that, the best way is to really shift back into you. Even if you are in direct communication and contact with TF, you just need to be really picking and always being in alignment with what you physically can do, and really moving forward from that. But there has been a lot of people that really have been very, very fatigued. Yeah, did I interrupt your sleep, doll? I'm sorry. Most people say I put them to bloody sleep anyway. Oh. I've had many people say that. I was listening to your video and I've got to go back and rewatch it. Always go back and watch your videos, guys. You know, because you do tend to listen to a video, and that's from any channel. Go and see if it resonates mid-month. I will try over the next few days. As I said, I do have a lot of changes happening on my home front. We have had to shift things around when it does come to TF's kin, and moving some situations around of what's going to work for the children, and obviously our schedule. So your donations do help. If you are wanting to make me to be here, yes, you do need to make bookings or I won't be able to be here permanently. Hello, a very warm welcome. Yeah, there has been a lot of dark energy, but the dark, you've got to remember, with the Pisces energy, it's very natural. When you are purging, it is dark energy. We all have shadow, but there's shadow energy as well, because the Neptunian energy is almost like you've got the 3D realm, you got the 4D because we're in between, and then you got the 5D. And some of us have been jumping timelines. Some of us have been regressing back and looking at maybe, did we take a wrong turn? Oh shit, what have we done? How have we done this? How did we get our knickers in a twist? Yeah. Just try not to tune into them as the person doesn't have any power. When we tune into that energy, we actually enable and charge it like a battery. And it's like, just unplug it. Unplug it. It's not there. It's a them issue. It's not a you issue, love. We can't change people. I mean, I've had a very interesting time when it does come to my twins karmic, and I've thought of it in many ways. And many times, like in your twin flame path, and it's looking at it from a human perspective. My twin's ex has been a single parent. Yes, she has had issues in her life. We all have had issues in our life. So empathically, obviously, I can look at her and think, gee, you know, that must be hard. So we all have shared, maybe not always agreed, but directly seeing the aspects of adversity. It's a reflective state. Now, yes, some people will get on, and yes, some people won't get on, and it's a reality of life. Not everyone's going to like you, but you don't need everyone to like you. I'm not here for every person on the planet. Oh, my twin's calling me again. For everyone to like me, and I mean, if I wanted to do that, gotta be bloody boring. Gotta be here for entertainment and some purposes, right? Yeah, no, I wouldn't either. I've said that to my twin many times. I'm like, man, if you think you haven't finished that chapter, go along. I kind of laugh about it now. Because we both have learnt things. And I mean, we do. Everyone learns. That's all you can do, is learn and keep moving forward. Anyway, I will probably be back later on tonight and I will do a TF update. And I will give you more gossip then. Okay, I have little ears, she's watching, so I can't really talk now. And I'll give you all a heads up tonight what the goal is. If you're needing to make a booking because I'm blocking off some time. And get in ASAP, because after this some things are changing. So book now. Love you, bye.